Hi, my name is Lena Kavanaugh, and I'm going to talk to you. I'm giving a short little presentation about mediumship, and the topic has to do with when a conversation goes into medium communication. And I'd also like to mention some things that I had learned in this class and how I was able to relate it to an experience I had a couple weeks ago. So, the things that I learned in this class, I learned that all psychics are not mediums, that they're two different type of skills and abilities that are being used. I learned that all mediums are psychics. I learned that psychics and mediums both have energies and both pick up on energy levels where they can pick up on the past, present, and future. And all mediums are psychics, they can do that, and that there's two separate types of mediums. And the mediums have a higher level, energy level, which allows them to communicate with spirits or discarnates. Their energy levels much higher, and when a loved one lowers theirs, then communication can take place because they have a higher one. The loved one lowers theirs, the level comes together, blends, and communication can then take place. So the two types of mediums, there's a mental medium. They have heightened senses where they're clairsentient, where they have feelings. They're clairaudient, where they can hear clearly. They're clairvoyant, where they can see clearly. And then there's physical mediums where they go into trances, they have seances, they do table tiltings, and some of them may end up opening up their bodies as vehicles and vessels, if you will, for the spirit to come on in and then go ahead and have communication, spirit communication with the the intermediary person, delivering messages to the loved one. The loved one, communicator, sitter. And yeah, so that's how that works. And I learned that if you really want to know when someone's a true medium, and this is what I love, at the very beginning they will say, I am not God, I do not have all the answers, and then they will be completely upfront and honest and say, if my level and my energy does not match your loved ones, then communication may not take place, and that you may have to come back another time, or you may have to go see someone else. I love that honesty, and that a true medium may be able to a true medium may be able to do one or all of the above, where they would be able to describe special objects that only the sitter would know about, that they would be able to talk about special time, events, and places that only the sitter would know about, that their phrases that the loved one may end up sending messages to the medium with special phrases, and the person's personality may change, like the medium's personality may change, and it may seem like, oh yeah, that's my grandfather, and it may act like the person's grandfather and say certain things, repeatedly, and then the medium may end up saying something where the sitter has to go and check it out and bring the information back and then receive a confirmation on the accuracy of that. And that is something similar that had happened to me, something like that. But so those are some of the things to look for when you're sitting down with someone and you want to know if they're the real deal or not. And so there's that. I learned about that and how I was able to relate some of this to an experience I had. I was at a barbecue with family and friends. there was this young girl's mom who had passed away. I'm not, well, at the time wasn't sure how long prior, but I remember at one point her dad wanted me to talk to her, and that came back to me through the grapevine. And that just never happened. I never met this young girl, but she was at this party. So I go there, barbecue party, and when I go in, and I'm seeing my sisters, talking to them a little bit, my energy is being pulled. Like, I want so bad to go over and stand next to this girl. And this girl was sitting at a table, and I just kind of wander, and I'm just standing there. All of a sudden, this girl starts showing me pictures. Next thing I know, pictures of her senior prom, her senior day, her boyfriend, her friends, talking about graduation, all very exciting stuff. And you know what? Her mom was right there between us. Her mom's spirit was strong. It was there between us. I was getting a sensation on the side of my head. And I just kept getting these thoughts that I knew were not mine. I kept thinking how beautiful she's grown, and kept thinking I just want to know more about her. Meanwhile, my family and sisters kept wanting to talk to me, and so I felt like I was being pulled, but the energy was so strong. And I think this young girl could feel her mom's energy too, and it was just, kind of bringing us together. And so that was really nice. For her to be sharing that, because I felt good about that. And then I said, I was telling her, well, I'm kind of hungry. I want to go get something to eat. I encouraged her to do the same thing. This young girl said she had to get ready to go to work. And I said, okay, and I went out, and she went her way. She went her way to go get ready for work. I went outside and got something to eat and hung out with everyone. And then the young girl came back out over to where we were, and she said, showed me another picture. She thought it was really funny. And so we talked a little bit when we were out there, and she said goodbye, and she left. And then a few people that were there, this kind of like dispersed. Everybody did their own little thing. But there was a couple of people that were standing by, and this one person said, did you pick anything up on her? And I said, yes, I did. Her mom was right there when we were looking at pictures. And she said, well, did you say anything to her? And I said, no, because I felt as if it was inappropriate, and there were a lot of people around, and I wasn't really sure if that was okay. And she said, well, yeah, you could have. And I looked over, and the girl was getting in her car, and I just ran right on over to that girl. I said her name, of course, not that girl, but I ran right on over to her, and I said, excuse me, I said, do you have a couple of minutes? I know you have to go to work, but I feel like I have something important that I need to share with you. And I said, I owe you an apology right now for doing this right before you go to work. And she said, yeah. And she just kind of looked at me, and we started walking a little bit. And I said, I don't know if anybody has told you anything at all about me, but years ago I got into a car accident, and now I can hear, see, think, and feel things that maybe some people may not be able to do. And I said, I just want you to know that your mom was standing there right with us when you were showing me all those pictures, and that she loves you, and that she's proud of you. And I just started saying all of these things to her. I said, she can hear you when you're crying at night, and she's always with you, and that you are loved, and she feels like you don't feel like you fit in anywhere, and that you don't belong here with certain people. And I'm saying these things to her, and she's crying, and it was just a very emotional thing. And she hugged me, and she told me she loved me, and I hugged her, and I told her that I loved her. And then and I told her once again, I apologize, but I just wanted her to know that her mom was there. She could hear that she loves her, and that everybody loves her. And so we were walking back towards her car, and I looked over, and I said, remember the angel that I sent her, or sent you? I sent her an angel with my nieces a while prior, a couple years ago. And the reason why I did that was that I just wanted to always include her, but that was more, I feel, of a prompt from her mom than me, or maybe it was just me, I don't know. But I said to her, the angel that I sent you, I said, I feel that was from your mom. I sent it, but I really feel that was from your mom. And she just looked at me, and she's, and I just felt bad because it was such a bad time for me to say that, but I didn't know if I'd ever see her again. And I had to take that chance. So she left, and then this woman comes over to me and says, so how did everything go? And I said, well, and I told her some of the things I said. And then all of a sudden she said, Lena, just a second. She goes, I need to show you something. I'm like, what? She goes, because we were there for about 10 minutes talking. And she said, she showed me a text, and she said, the young girl sent a message to this woman, said, I love you. She said, Lena, she never said that to me before. She shut everybody out. She closes down. She doesn't share anything. She goes into her bedroom. She isolates herself. She switches friends over. And she said, I think there's a couple things you need to know about her. And she said, well, first, 2 years ago, yesterday, her mom passed away. And I'm like, wow. And then she said, I was really surprised by that. And then she said, and this past memorial, she was so lost and upset that she went to her mom's gravesite and wanted to take her life. And because she wants to be with her mom. And I'm like, oh. And she's like, Lena, are you feeling anything else? And I said, yeah, I keep hearing this can't be happening. It's just not happening again. How can this be happening again? And I kept saying this, and I said, I'm sorry, this isn't making any sense. And she said, it may not be making sense to you, but just keep going. I said, that's all I'm getting. I keep getting the same thing over and over again. And, the woman would put what I was saying into her phone. And we talked a little bit, and I said that I had to go. I had a 2-hour drive ahead of me. And it was a very nice visit and everything, and she was happy because I think she felt like there was more communication between her and this young girl. And on my way to where I needed to be, I ended up getting a text, and she said, Lena, when you get there, can you please, give me a call? There's something I think that you need to know. So when I got there, I called her, and she said, I think you need to know that her mother went through the same thing that her daughter's going through, right? Or that her daughter went through. I said, what? And she said, the reason why I feel that you were hearing, it can't be happening again. It's just not happening. It's not supposed to be happening. How can this be happening again? Because this young girl's mom lost her mom at a young age, and now this young girl lost her mother at a young age, and she was saying this just couldn't be happening again. So then after this woman talked to me, she said, someone else wants to speak with you. It's this girl's dad. And I'm like, okay. So I got on the phone with her dad, and her dad said, I want to say thank you for everything. I really appreciate everything that you did. And I didn't really feel like that was me that did anything. I just felt like the mom just wanted her daughter to know that everyone loved her, and that she was doing a beautiful job, and that she was very proud of her. And I can't remember everything that I said to her, but I feel incredibly blessed and grateful to have been a part of that. So I remembered my class where it said repeated phrases, and sometimes there's some things that take place, when a person passes away that they'll remember and they'll hold on to. And that's the one thing that came over and over again. It just can't be happening, and this isn't happening. And so, yeah. And I didn't know that the young girl was isolated, and I didn't know a lot of different things, but so that was that. And then Father's Day, a couple days after Father's Day, I got a phone call, and apparently this girl and her dad were talking, and they said, they encouraged me to call her, and I said, well, I really feel like she's in a fragile state, and that was a lot for her to absorb, and that if the young girl wants to get in touch with me, that she can, but I'm going to leave that up to her. So that is my story. That's how I related it to my class, and it was a wonderful class. Thank you. and I'm going to take what I learned and remember and use it in the future if whenever anything crosses my path. So a conversation, an innocent conversation, turns into mediumship and being used as an instrument and a vehicle of love. I don't find anything mystical or magical about it. I feel like it is a beautiful gift from God, and I believe that in Corinthians with spiritual gifts, and we all have them. And I always think of this. I got to do this. That we are like this, and inside we all have these amazing gifts, right? Okay, everybody have a wonderful day, and thank you so much. Bye.